So our project here is a 1987 Bayliner fishing ski, also known as a trophy bass boat with the ski bars on it. It's got the 3-point ski. I picked this up for $750. Interior was pretty mushy and pretty wet. It has the 85 horsepower force motor on it. Don't know if the motor runs. The guy that I got it from never ran it, and the guy he got it from didn't run it either. So I'm the third owner on a boat that hasn't been used in probably 20 years. The floor was all rotted, so we started cutting it out. We started off taking the decks out, but we realized it was a lot more rotten than what we thought. In the floor, the decks had been replaced before, but the previous owners that did that did not replace the floor. They just decked over the existing rot. So Cam right now,
you can see here,
is cutting into it.
It was just completely gone. This wood has turned to mush. Just disgusting. This buoyancy foam here just held the water, whatever water was in here. You can see that side is still intact. Essentially, I'm going through with a rotary bit, just a cutting wheel on a little rotary tool, and just being careful cutting the line out there so we can just get all that wood out of here and just resheet right over top of it. Just because it's going to be completely terrible if we just left that in there.
So once we get all the rot cut out of here, we're going to start framing it out for a new deck, and we're going to put the old casting deck back on here. I'm actually tracing that over here in the corner on a new piece of wood. And then we have the front end here, which we're going to change out a little bit like you would do on a, a speedboat bow. We're going to do basically a bench seat on each side with an opening in the middle so you can seat more people. It claims it's a 4-seater, 600-pound capacity, but the way I'm doing the seats in the back, there's only going to be 2 seats. So we're going to add basically an additional 2 seats to the front, which we don't need another casting deck. We're used to fishing without casting decks, so 1 casting deck on the front will be plenty enough to suffice our needs. So this is pretty much what we've done at this point. I was going to record a little bit more before I got into this, and you can tell the paint is all faded out from sitting in the sun. So we're not going to go too crazy with it. This is a budget build. I'm trying to stay under $1,500 on this project. So we'll see how it goes. Right now, I'm close to $1,100 all in with the supplies. I have new carpet, new 2x4s, new sheets of plywood, some clear coat, and a few other things. So, and a June bug just landed on me. That's great. It's that season here in northern Michigan. All right. Got some stuff framed out. Framed out some runners under there. We're getting carpet cut. Got a couple of the decks cut. Starting to clean it out a little bit. Got a battery hooked up. I'm going through the carbs. Boat actually cranks over. Good compression on all 3 cylinders. We have spark in all 3 cylinders. Now we're just going through everything, laying out the carpet. Cam's getting that done. And we're going to start framing out the rest of the boat here for the seats. It's coming along quite well. We're making good progress. So, all right, guys, back with the next part on this boat. So we've got this deck in. We got the original door up there for the anchor and the wiring to access that little panel up there. Did a little, carpet scheme here with keeping that gray in the center. I don't know, looks okay maybe. We might stay. Got all the carpet in. Got the back part cut out there to take the weight for the back deck. We started taking all the stickers off here, and I started the first coat of wet sanding. That's why it kind of looks the way it does, is I started wet sanding it out, and there's a bunch of nasty grime and everything still on there. I got to clean it out. This is going to be the deck for the seats. We're only going to do 2 seats since we have that V cut out there, and you could set 2 people there if you wanted to, but it's mainly just going to be 2 of us fishing. So we got these seats for the boat from Dunham's. They were like, I want to say they were $60 a piece. Maybe it was a little bit more than that, but I had a gift card. Just cut out this deck for that. Cam's been working on that. That's the rough cut. We're going to end up wrapping that in carpet and probably doing a center console in the middle there. We got the deck, casting deck for the back cut out. I'm working on the doors right now, cutting those out, and I'm going to have to wrap those in carpet. I had to get a little bit more carpet from Home Depot to match this carpet, but I'm working on the lids currently, getting those cut to the right size and getting the new latches that I bought for it, which it's coming along pretty good. Motor here, I am actually waiting on a fuel pump. Also, I had to get another one of these. I actually took it off my old 9.5 John Boat gas tank because the fuel pump that I had on here that I bought for it didn't have a check valve, so the fuel would run right back down into the gas tank, which was problematic. You're supposed to have a check valve on these, so if you pump it and the gas falls back down, don't get that. Get one that holds the gas when you pump it and it stays in the line. All right, guys, I'm back with the boat. This project just keeps getting sweeter and sweeter. I can't even explain how much fun I'm having with this motor. The motor is really the problem here. You know, the force motors everybody told me to stay away from. They're junk, they're this, they're that. Well, I'm learning a little bit here and there. I haven't learned that they're junk yet. I have learned that the parts are very expensive. CDI box for a 1998 Force 85 or 125, whatever you want to call. The CD boxes, you know, they go to both motors, but I just had to buy one. The CD box, I found out, is faulty. Tore apart right now. I realized that I was using one of the wrong plugs out the second CD box to fire my third cylinder, or to fire my second cylinder, which it's only supposed to fire the third cylinder for the order. And the one plug on this CD box was dead, and I'm assuming it's because of the multiple melted spots in the wire. I put tape over them to see if it would work. It does not. This CD box is junk, so I had to order another one. Cheapest one I could find on eBay that was tested in working condition with returns was $250. I made an offer of $205. They accepted the offer, shipped it to me for about $220 overall with shipping. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So in the last clip there, I was working on the Force motor, the Force 85. And I was swapping out the CD box. I went through the process of doing that. Made no difference. Probably my stator. I went to pull the flywheel off the motor and the threads are all stripped out. So pretty much I started doing some more investigating and I started to notice a lot of the seals were leaking from various different places. So I was gonna have to tear it apart and replace seals and manage to get the flywheel off. And at the end of the day, it's a Force 85. Doesn't make a lot of power. I would have been okay with it for what I was gonna use it for. But I ended up hopping on Facebook Marketplace and I found this bad boy. Force 125 motor. I got this thing for $800. Not a bad deal for $800. The only problem was when I got this motor, it came with the long shaft, which is like 5 inches longer than this. So it would have hung down way too low. What I ended up doing, let's go ahead and show you guys here what I've got going on. What I ended up doing was pulling the Force 125 right from the midsection. I unbolted everything, unplugged everything, used this electric hoist from Harbor Freight, which is $120. I just hung it up in my rafters there. Didn't even bolt it in, just hung it up there on a piece of strut from a road sign. And I
pulled the power head right off. I just wrapped the chain around the clutch right here. Or not, sorry, not the clutch, the flywheel. Wrapped a chain around it, and I pulled it right off, and there it is. There's the Force 85. And then I pulled the 125 off of this, and I transferred it to the Force 85 midsection. Bolted everything up. You got to do a basically a seal around here, like not a silicone seal, but it's like an RTV marine seal that you use. It's black, and you put it all around here, form a gasket, set it down, finger tight the bolts, let it sit for an hour or two, and then you torque it to spec. But I did that, and I got that transferred to the boat. Guys, that is not, everybody in the forums told me, hey, that's a super simple task. Some people on the Force Facebook page, they said, hey man, it's easy, it's simple, just get it done. I was thinking lazy in my mind, and I was just gonna run the extra 5-inch long motor. Don't do that, it's not worth it. I made the swap, and you know what, it wasn't easy, but it can be done. I'm somebody with a fair amount of mechanic knowledge. I would not say I'm a very mechanical person. I don't have a ton of knowledge. I have the bare necessities to get the job done. I understand how some things work. When I hopped into this outboard motor thing, I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue how the system worked. I honestly didn't know anything about outboards or boats in general. I saw this on Marketplace and I jumped into it thinking, hey, this will be a fun project. It'll make for a good video. Maybe I can help somebody out along the way. But putting a 125 on the 85 midsection, short shaft, it ended up being good for me. I ran the motor, my impeller inside the lower unit was shot. It wasn't shooting any water out. It was actually blowing rubber chunks straight out the ports here. So I ended up ripping the lower unit off. I had a impeller for this 85 unit already, so I slapped it in there, got it done. She runs like a top now. She's tuned in. Let's get onto the boat. The paint, I've tried wet sanding, buffing, polishing, all that. Paint's done, gel coat's ruined pretty much, so it looks okay for what it is. It's got a little bit of a shine to it, but it's definitely faded out, and the paint's supposed to be this nice shiny blue, as you can see in the lines where I tore the stickers off. But you know what, it looks okay for what it is. I'm happy with it as a fishing boat. It'll do just fine. I put the one windshield on. I don't have a windshield on that side. We ended up getting all the carpet done. We got the latches done. I got these two little seats here that I got. They were freaking $80 a piece, which is expensive. These are just a little too high to clear me. I'm 6'2", my brother's like 6'6". We don't really, our knees don't clear. Our knees don't clear this, and I'm gonna have to trim out like I'd have to literally trim out an area for my knee here on both sides, or I just have one hanging out there. It's kind of annoying. I can fit if I stick my legs straight out or like kind of straight up, but I'm still like crammed in there. This boat was not made for big dudes. It must have been made for dudes like 5'9" and smaller, which I know like 2 people that are that short. I ended up building all those. My brother helped me out a lot with this stuff, so thanks, Cam. Lifesaver. Brother's always helping me get stuff done around here. It takes 2 to get these projects done of this size. You know, this isn't a simple, easy, you know, this has been a couple weeks in the making. I hopped into it thinking this was gonna be a 1 weekend project, and I was wrong, guys. Don't go into these boats thinking they're easy. What is going on, guys? So we just launched the boat in the water. It's not leaking any water. We're gonna go ahead and see if she runs and see how she works. Neutral. She is idling. Alright guys, so we were out in the water for a couple hours with this boat. Runs okay. I started to notice it was hiccuping and backfiring and not running exactly how I wanted it to run. Slow, it was okay, but as soon as you gave it power, it kind of cut in and out, in and out, and in and out. And I checked the spark plug. This one did not look very ignited at all. Take a look at the spark plug. It looks really clean. And then you go to one of the other ones and you can tell like it's been igniting the whole time. So the top two are really getting spark constantly. The third is kicking in a little bit, and the fourth. So I checked the CD packs and I put one of the 85 horse ones on this 85 or this 125, and they're compatible. The wires are just a little bit shorter. Checked the coil packs, they're all good. CD packs are good. So it's either something going on with the trigger or the stator underneath. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Bayliner. We're with Cam. We're out here on Lake Skegmog in northern Michigan. We got the 125 on here. We got it all tuned up. I put a 19 prop on this thing. I had the 17 on here that came on originally, and I was over revving a little bit. But it seems like with the weight that I have from fishing, the 17 will probably do just fine. So a 17 pitch prop and a 125 with an 85 lower unit seems to be golden. We've been out here fishing for about 5 hours, and we have caught zilch. So we're not very happy.
Not a thing.
Cam's lost 2 lures. So
Not the cheap ones either.
Not the cheap ones either. So boat runs good. We're doing about 38 miles an hour on this prop. I can probably squeeze out a little more out of the other one. My trim is leaking and not working very well, so I'm losing some speed there. This is probably going to be a 45 mile an hour rig, all said and done, once we get the trim working properly and we get the 17 back on here. So that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching the build. I hope this video helped you. If you guys have any questions about building these force motors, or diagnosing them, or working on one of these Bayliner boats or a bass boat in general, go ahead and leave the comments down in the comment section, and I'll get back to you guys. Thanks. Peace.